regular scheduled meeting of the Treutlen County Board of Commissioners for May 3rd, 2021. Appreciate everyone for the attendance. Appreciate everyone for coming and participating in our government. At this time, I would call on Commissioner Ms. Kayla Hollis for our invocation, please.
Everyone bow your heads, please. Lord, we come to you today. We come to you with open hearts. We come to you with open minds, Lord. We ask you to come into this room. Let everyone at this table make the best decisions for this county as possible. Lord, we ask you to bless our county, bless our city, bless our nation. And these others we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Everyone stand. I ask you to join me along as I lead with Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first action of the board today would be approval of minutes for April 5th, 2021 regular meeting. Open the table at this time for approval of said minutes.
If everyone has read, I make a motion to approve the minutes of our April 5th regular meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Can't.
Sorry?
Use on phone, do it.
No,
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Alrighty, we will forego our public comments portion of the meeting today. No one cared to address the board. First order of business is our internal auditor, Ms. Taylor Lord, would like to address the board as far as accounting payroll software proposal. Ms. Taylor, the floor is yours.
Right? I'll stay right here so I don't have my bag. One of the things that we noticed right off the bat when we started helping Angie and the girls in here with some of the posting was how, not bad, I'm not going to call it bad, but it's not very user-friendly, the accounting software that we currently have. Two of the main things that I don't like about it is that to view a report, any type of report, you have to print it. And so I can't tell you the amount of paper that we go through every time that I'm here trying to look at reports, pull certain information. Everything has to be printed. There's no way you can just view it on the screen. Another thing that I don't like about it is how you have to make a journal entry. It probably takes us about, I don't know, 5 minutes to make one journal entry when it really should take like 30 seconds. It's just a like 6-step process to post a journal entry, which I've never seen until being here. Well, with that being said, I started trying to find some other solutions that would be more user-friendly and more cost-efficient. And we have another county that uses the Sage 50. It's just a lot better as far as being able to look at the report on the screen, pulling up a transaction by just double-clicking on it and getting to see the full transaction, which we're unable to do in the current software. I know we provided a cost analysis of how much you're currently paying for Harris, right? And then what Sage 50 quoted when I called and asked how much it would be for 3 users, which is what's currently set up under Harris. And I don't have that sheet in front of me, but the cost savings by just going from Harris to Sage would be $7,926 a year. Another thing that was brought to my attention from another client that we serve is payroll services. And the accounting software is something on its own. So Harris, Sage 50, that's one deal. Has nothing to do with payroll. But if you wanted to do payroll, have somebody provide payroll services, which would be somebody who it's another service organization who will prepare your payroll reports, distribute the paychecks. They'll do all your 941 tax returns. make sure all your filing is filed timely.
Print W-2s.
Print W-2s, all that payroll related stuff. So that's what's on the second page is if you were to go from Harris to Sage and implement ADP. And it would actually just be an extra cost of $1,025.74 in the first 2 years. Because if you go to Sage from Harris, you got that $7,000 cost savings, and then ADP would be $9,643 a year to get those services.
And while we're talking about it, I just want to tell y'all a little bit about support with Harris. We do have a great contact that helps us as much as she can, but we can't just pick up the phone and call somebody. If there's a problem or there's a glitch or the system goes down, because it's not always us, it's not always our internet, sometimes it's with them themselves. You have to go online, put in a support, and then you wait on them. Even if you put urgent, it could be, they try to be timely, but I've had before where I haven't heard from anybody in 2 days. That's the kind of support we have with Harris.
I'll add that I talked to some of the vendors at the ECCG convention on the IT stuff, and I've asked them about the Harris, and I pretty much got told pretty quick that's 1980s technology that we're still using. So I appreciate you looking out and compiling this and trying to help us get productive in the front office. And also, while you got the podium, I'd like for you to address the board on where we're at with the audit for last year and the reason we don't have it now.
Okay. Yeah, so the holdup on the audit is the Development Authority audit. It hasn't been done yet. We actually went last week and got some of the information to help them out by getting everything posted into their QuickBooks file. So actually when I get back to the office today, that's going to be my game plan, is getting everything booked in QuickBooks so that we can get a trial balance and stuff to whoever's going to do the audit. I know that Matthew Kane said that he was going to send out a proposal sometime this week to propose on doing the audit for 6/30/20, but I haven't heard back from him yet on where he was at with that proposal.
But the people who were previously doing that audit told us,
They said they were going to do it, now they're not going to do it.
yeah, so we're sitting there waiting on them, and then all of a sudden they decided we're not dealing with y'all. I don't know. That's the reason that hadn't been done.
Really quick, do you want to kind of explain how the payroll would work if they went that way, just a little bit, the kind of how we would use that?
Yeah, I'll do my best. So Angie and I were on the phone with a representative from ADP on Friday, and she was explaining how it would work. And Angie, you step in and correct me if I say something wrong. But what ADP does is each department, you have everybody has their login on ADP, so you can go in and post your time, clock in, clock out. Every supervisor has access to their department, goes in and approves the time each month or each pay period. And then ADP will process the payroll checks. Like I said, take care of everything in the background. That's the easiest way to describe everything.
And it can be implemented by, we can have an iPad at a location,
tablet.
a tablet, any kind of tablet. It doesn't have to be an iPad. They can access this. For instance, the deputies, they can do it on their phone, and it'll go to the system or whatever. I know that there are some people that don't care for iPhones. It can be done on a computer. Terry, as a supervisor over his department, can take care of everybody's time for them. You know, you have some of those gentlemen that don't care about electronics. Terry can do that for them and approve it. He does it for them anyway already. So,
And one of the bonuses about all of this is that it would cut down on, just human error. It would hold people a little bit more, have a little bit more accountability for their time, make sure that it's getting reported correctly. So. Are there any other questions on that accounting software or ADP?
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. Again, thank Ms. Taylor and her services. They do a good job to help us going in the right direction. I think that after looking at the numbers, and I believe the board would agree also, that this is something we should really take into consideration. And I'd open the table for a motion to purchase the Sage 50. We'll make a motion to go away from the Harris. Open the table for a motion for a new purchase of Sage 50. If board so chooses.
Is that with the 80
With 80.
PA?
Yes.
Yeah, with AV.
I'm not making a motion. I'm just saying the table's open. Someone wants to make a motion.
I'm making the motion. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll make a motion, we just go with the 80 PDP stage 50.
Now we'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, we have some appointments. We're trying to get everything on all our boards, kind of with the COVID and different things. Some of this stuff just kind of went behind, but we're looking at trying to get all our appointments. The first appointment that the board has before them is the Central Georgia Region 5 Emergency Medical Service Council appointment. Angie, you want to take over this?
Previously, this board was held by Chad Price at one time. It was held by Homer Rivers, and it was held by Jamie Bridges. At this time, it is vacant. You can appoint anyone you would like, but I did, because of the nature of this, I did ask Josh Love if he would be willing to serve, and he said he would, if y'all so choose to appoint him.
Make that motion to appoint Josh.
Do I have a second?
That's second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Alrighty, now we move on. We have the Heart of Georgia Omaha Rural Council Area Agency for Aging appointments. I refer to our clerk again.
This board, this council was previously held by, I think it was Mrs. Hussey?
Miss Inez Warwick is
And
up.
Right, and Miss Inez Warnick. I reached out to both if y'all would like to reappoint them, and they both said they would be willing to serve another term.
I move that we reappoint them.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Not all in favor, vote aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, the brings us to the next part of business for the board. As y'all know, we're in the need of some office space, and we're having some problems with the last meeting. We voted to patch the roof on the annex to try to give us a little more time over there. And with that torrential downpour we had 2 weeks ago, it flooded again, and we had to call Surf Pro in. So there's things constantly bugging us. So really, we've been needing to do this. We've kind of toyed around with it, but we need to get some action in place on going forth with our remodel of the defects building. I showed everyone the plans, and this is going to be a long project, but there's certain things that we got to get done before you get a full-blown get started, and those are we have, regardless whether we go forth with the remodel, which I think we all want to, we got our plans and stuff. There's some things here as far as mold and asbestos and lead removal and some construction stuff that has to be done. But here's some bid that's been placed in by GDS Industrial, which is Matt Walden here in the room. And if anyone has any questions about any of this, I welcome y'all to refer to him. But this would get us started and get us to a point where we can go forth and basically hold the building and come back with potential plans that we have drawn up here. They're here laid out for everyone if you'd like to see kind of how the proposed floor plan. This is not the final job, just as a guess where we can get started. Matt, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, those plans are just preliminary. They're putting place in perspective for you. I've already paid for it. It's already in the price for engineered plans. We cannot do the engineered plans till we get and see the structural, so we can get the square footage for the people and the person load for the building. So we know exactly where we're gonna be at.
So this will be going in and removing like all the false
This is
ceilings.
everything, all the false ceiling, everything down to structural to be able to go back with just studs. The windows will come out. We have to tint every room. We have to do moisture control in the rooms while we're tinting it. We have to build sleeves for the removal of all the dust. So it's not a small project.
Will it not be cheaper just to push the thing down and have it hauled off from, I mean, this is $91,000 for this, and that's not even including all the other stuff that's gonna have to be done.
That was a great question. I've actually contemplated that myself many times, but as high as, you know, at the end of the day, you still got a good sound building there and you got something to work with. As high as building materials are now, I know that number looks big, but there's a problem over there, and I think if you were to push it down and you know you had all these problems, you're about going to have to spend this anyway to really take care of that problem over there. So I think you're forced for doing this either way.
Even if you just tear it down, if you gotta have S's in there, you're gonna have to have something to control that, to keep, you know, the dust down or whatever. So like they pretty much gonna have to take it out before you can tear it down.
Is this the only bid we got?
Yes.
Did we ask for these, or we just asked this one company?
No, we asked this one company. They handle, I mean, when we need something done in this building or the courthouse or anything else, they're who we call now. So we asked them to give us a price on going over and going forward.
Matt, this would be complying with all the asbestos removal
Just for
requirements,
license and insurance for it.
mold removal requirements, making sure your guys have safety requirements.
All proper PPPs in place, as well as all the insurance requirements and certifications. So, and we will hold to certified location as well as bag it, tag it, and separate it.
I don't know no one else in the county would even, you know, jump on this project, but, you know, if that's something that's holding up the board from going forward and they want to advertise it, I don't have a problem with that. But you know, we're sitting over here with a leaking roof. I'm trying to get something done. Most of the construction people, and I don't understand this, they've booked out for 3 or 4 months on even getting projects done now, so I think we're really lucky that Matt's there willing to go ahead and jump on this project for
And
us.
some of this with the porta potties and the construction entrance, you're going to have that no matter what. And that's for protection for the county.
What did you estimate the start date if we did?
2 weeks.
Estimated time of completion?
6 weeks.
It's not bad.
But we're gonna try to save as much as we can in the process.
But if we bid out, how long are we gonna bid it? Week, 2 weeks?
Well, I mean, you bid it out, you got probably
Month.
at least a month out. So where are you gonna work? And the next thing is where are you gonna bid it out? I mean, you go to the state procurement website, but then you tap into people online and everything else and getting on their schedule. So, I mean, I could say we run the surfing paper, but I bet they probably don't sell 50 papers now.
I think with this big amount, we probably need to bid it. With this big amount.
All right. Well, I open the floor for a motion to accept this bid. Give a floor for the construction of the defects building.
I'll make that motion.
Second. I'll second it. I'll second the bid. Any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye. Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
How'd you vote, ma'am?
I voted aye.
Okay. Motion carries. I couldn't hear with the man, I'm sorry. Apologize. All right, next order of business before the board is the position of county manager. Just to inform the public, the board met at 8:30 for a work session under the executive session of personnel. It come to the board's attention that someone has become available to help the board with its day-to-day operations at the county. The county has a position of county manager that has a, let me find it here. There's a resolution done on May 5th, 2015, where the Treutlen County Board of Commissioners met in regular session. They established the duties and power and responsibility of the county manager. The county manager's duties include or are not limited to supervise administration affairs of the county and see the ordinance, resolutions, regulations, Board of Commissioners, and laws of the state of Georgia are faithfully executed and enforced. 2, employ and remove all department heads of the county under the jurisdiction of the Board of Commissioners, staff, employees, county manager, pursuant to policies established by the board, except for the county attorney, county auditor, and members of all Board of Commission authorities who are appointed or removed by the Board of Commissioners. 3, exercise managerial authorities and supervisions over county manager, staff, and all departments head under the jurisdiction of the Board of Commissioners. 4, require a report from heads of departments and other employees entrusted with administrative duties and exercise discretion. The county manager has at all times the authority to examine all books and records of every office, department of the county under the jurisdiction of the Board of Commissioners. Attend all meetings of the Board of Commissioners with the right to take part in discussion but have no vote. And to prepare agenda for each meeting, both new and unresolved business that include issues recommended by individual commissioners. 6, recommended the Board of Commissioners for adopting such measures as county manager deems necessary or expedient. 7, supervise the performance of all contracts made by a person, company, corporation, the county board done with county commissioners. Submit the Board of Commission for approval prior to June 1 for each year of operating budget for the next fiscal year, appropriations and estimated revenue and the recommended expenditures for the next fiscal year, recommended tax levies and such other information as data may be considered necessary for the Board of Commissioners. 9, keep the Board of Commissioners fully advised as to financial conditions and needs of the county. 10, make or cause to be made a full written report of Board of Commissioners each month showing the operation expenditures of each department, county government for preceding month. 11, delegate purely administrative duties to department heads or subordinates in the county government whose work for county manager supervises and directs, provided, however, that the delegation assessment of duties to subordinates does not relieve the county manager from responsibility of the administration of such position. 12, perform such other duties as may from time to time be required or delegated by the Board of Commissioners and exercise all matters of their original and exclusive jurisdictions. And I'm going to say this one last, it's probably one of the most important. 13, cooperate with elected and appointed county officials and management of county affairs. Now, this was a position that was made, was previously held by Doug Eves. He left the county. This position is still sitting out there. This county has been running the past 4 years without one. There is a need, a great need now. Y'all know a lot of the projects. This county is in a great position. We're in a position to go forward with some great projects, but we need some help to get this stuff took place. There's a assigned set of duties to be filled by this position. At times, I fell in the role of this, but I'm not always accessible. And it's not fair to this board because there's things that they need at times that I'm not here to give them, and there's things at the times that the county constitutional officers need that gets relied back to Angie and this office, and I'm not here to do it. And I just think it's not fair to me nor the other people of the county to go without this position. And this is a position that we've advertised this in the past. we got minimal participation in advertisement of it. I think you really gotta love Treutlen County and wanna be a part of it to come up here and take place at the current pay scale. But that being said, you know, you kinda, as being a person who likes to take advantage when opportunity comes sees forth, I think Treutlen County has the right man for the job, who has the experience, who can come in here and help this board and this government run smoothly. And at this time, I'd like to open the table for I don't know, I'll tell you what, at this time, I'd like to make the motion to hire T.J. Hudson as the county manager at the amount discussed previously in the executive session. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
I got a couple of questions. What was that salary that we talked about?
It was discussed in executive session.
What is it? I need to know.
You have to make a public, if he so takes the salary, you make the written request through the office to find out the amount.
We're supposed to, it's a public knowledge, why we can't talk about it now? I need to know what the salary is.
I confer to legal counsel.
You could say
You
it
need
in
to-
the meeting, right?
I think you're gonna need.
All you gotta do is go write the paper. I think if you say it in this meeting, you're you know, but I don't mind, but I'm just saying, if y'all wanna dot all the T's and cross all the I's, if you wanna go through one process, go through them all.
Public record. We ain't
Well, it is, but you got to fill out the paperwork to get it.
in an open meeting, I'm asking it in an open meeting.
And I'm saying you can't be told in an open meeting.
I can't be told in an open meeting, Jimmy?
This is my first meeting. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Anything in an open meeting is public knowledge, can be.
It's all everything
The
in this
executive-
office is public
The
knowledge.
executive session is
This is
not.
not executive
I
session, though, we in
understand.
an open meeting.
That's-
Well, why do we even go into executive session?
Hold on, everybody. Hold on. All I'm asking is to take it one step at a time. What's discussed in the executive session is covered by privacy for the purposes of that. When you have hired other people with salaries, have y'all brought it into public session?
No. It's always handled under executive session.
I mean, I haven't been here for that. What I'm saying is be consistent. Whatever it is, be consistent.
That's all I'm asking.
Ma'am,
It's always been executive session.
it is an exec, but once the information is put in the computer, if somebody comes in, we have to tell them.
Sure.
It is open record.
I don't have no
And-
problem
and
with it.
that's, so if that's been the consistent process and practice, then that's what I'd say be consistent about. I mean, y'all did spend a considerable amount of time going through how to come to the number with some rational basis, so that's where you're at.
Okay, you won't answer that question, I got another.
No, you got an answer.
No, I answered. What I'm saying is, you be consistent with what you've been doing in the past. This is not like you're making an exception. If you were making an exception, I would say the other way around. So,
Okay, my next question is, where's the money coming from? We don't have it in the budget, so where's the money coming from to pay for a county manager?
Well, before we close out every budget, we amend the budgets to make the monies match. So we have to do that unlike our federal government. So Ms. Taylor will make sure that the money is there to pay for the salary. And we could possibly be running up under on the front staff. I'm not sure we have to look at the numbers.
Okay, and I got one other question. Now, we had a county administrator, a few years ago, and her position was abolished or eliminated.
Right.
So, since you're like coming up with another position or falling back on the county managers, then why wouldn't we just offer her the job back instead of just hiring somebody else, appointing somebody else?
She didn't want to be county manager. She wanted to be county administrator because she didn't want the powers that was invested in county manager.
Okay, that's another thing. Did you read this number 2? Was that part of his job duties, or what did y'all say about that?
Yes, that's part of his job duties.
He has the right to hire and fire.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's by policies established by the board. So if you want to read part of it, read it all.
But y'all got.
But yes, he does have power to remove part, yes, he does have hire and fire, but it's by policy set forth by this board.
Okay, have y'all looked at personnel issues and?
I'm sure that
personnel
once,
problems?
when it comes to some hire and firing, that those will be consulted. I do not sit around and just read it. I do not. When I become to something that I think that becomes pertinent to information that's in there, I do look at it, yes.
Okay, all right.
I would add that, to the constituents of the public, when this did come up in our, we have discussed the resolutions, we discussed if we're doing everything legal, if we're doing everything right, and we did come to that consensus. If, it's made for that Judge Hutz will be county manager, so we looking into all that. I just want everybody to know.
Any further discussion? I have a motion and a second on the table. If not, all in favor vote aye. Aye. All opposed? Votes taken. Motion carries. All right, next order of business before the board, we get the managers. Let's see here. Have to find my financial documents. Current balances as set for May 1st, Treutlen County. Our general fund set to $2,140,148.20. We still have our CD at the bank. LMIG of $285,747. 2019 splash of $1,337. Crime victim assistance fund of $208,094. That was after the checks were wrote. Drug abuse treatment education, $58,072. Drug seizure fund, $18,009.60. E911, $169,822.76. $61,143.88 in jail reserve. Treatment Wheeler landfill balance is $542, and we're sitting with T-Splash $577,710. One thing that didn't make the agenda, and I just thought about this, if y'all want to table this and we'll meet back at this, just be thinking about this. We had our land purchase, and we got to sit down and exactly decide how much we're going to put towards for that area for first responders and how much we want to use for our transportation. If we move them out there, our road department. So until we decide that amount, because obviously what we're going to use for the road department, we need to use our T-Splash funds to pay for that, but we can't use that, so we have to X out a spot on the side if we're going to put first responders out there also. But I recommend that let's cash the CD. It's time to renew this CD or not. So I say we cash the CD in, cover the expenses of the land purchase out of it, and let the other monies fall into the general fund until we get our plan established on what we're going to do with the land purchase.
Where's that CD in?
Thanks, Larry.
I think that's what we're gonna table.
Well, just let y'all know it's something that we need to be deciding on.
Before we started the meeting this morning, you said something about federal money coming in. We
Yes,
just
ma'am.
need to keep in mind that federal money has to be used for some specific things.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And not infrastructure. And actually, it could be used in Kaylin's district and my district, I believe, according to the law that I read on.
Well, good.
And I've got some projects in mind for it.
We'll be anxious to hear them.
Okay.
Anything else? Not, that includes the meeting of the Treutlen County Board of Commissioners. Appreciate everyone for attending. EMA, Mr. Wayne, you here? Would you like to share any information on the EMA with the county? Everything running smooth? Were you doing good? Calls, everything?
Been pretty busy the last couple of months.
I just didn't get the sheet on the calls or anything.
I wasn't here when the meeting started, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. When you first come in, we was in executive
But I
session.
have them, and I'll be glad.
Yeah, if you would, please share those with the board.
Yeah,
And as he
absolutely.
shares those, we'll Entertain a motion for dismissal.
The last couple of months has been abnormally busy for us for this time of year. And I'll grab more of these. Here, I got some more. So we've been flirting with record numbers the last 3 months, which, as y'all know, with COVID and everything going on, has been somewhat of a challenge, but I think we have managed to sustain well. Outside of that, everything's going well.
All righty. I'll open the floor for motion for dismissal.
Make a motion to dismiss.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, vote aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank everyone for attending today.